Chris Paul and the NBA Finals. Two things which could never go into sentences together have now become one. First, I know this is random, but I thought I'd just throw together a commentary vid of me just talking off the brain. Shout out Dom 2K. Forgive me, ditch, do it. I'm gonna be honest. I upload so much 2K for better or worse, and I never really talk about the actual NBA. Not really since I was doing 2K16 and 2K17 videos. That's ancient history. Much like Chris Paul's final drought. First, we gotta acknowledge Los Angeles. The red and blue, not the purple and gold. The Clippers rattled off comeback after comeback. Survived Luka's destructive games in 7. Received another 0-2 hole in Salt Lake. And at the expense of Kawhi, they sent Donovan Mitchell and in question, absolutely, Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert home to reach their first ever conference finals. That was a curse broken. PG, he definitely started off the postseason rough. He did his best. He helped Kawhi take down Luka in 7 games. Pandemic Porzingis helped with that. I'm gonna be quite honest there. Look, we gotta keep it a buck. And then Terrence Mann murked Rudy Gobert. I don't know how he did it. PG went into Salt Lake City. We gotta acknowledge that. We all thought they were getting destroyed in Game 5. He gave them like 37, I think, 37 in Game 5. And then Terrence Mann gave Gobert nightmares in Game 6. So that was fun. They were down 25, by the way. Then in the end, losing Kawhi did hurt them, though. It really did. It did. We all knew it was gonna. Probably in the finals more if they saw Giannis, but definitely hurt them. But so did Book. Game 1, giving them like 16 straight in the third quarter. Gave him like 40-point triple-double. Then Game 2, PG did not live up to the playoff P name. He had some awful misses at the end, at the free throw line. And then Ayton gave them a lob and sealed their fate in Game 2. They did come back though in Game 3, and I'm going to be honest, Reggie Jackson is receiving a Brinks chuck this summer. He's getting it, and he's getting it for good reason. He played his play alongside PG. That's the reason why they took 2 of nearly the 3 games that they almost took this series. It's going to be a miracle for them if they keep Reggie on a chump change contract, but if they do, that's one of the biggest finesses of this offseason, and he's definitely going to get a Terry Rozier-like contract, the same way Terry went off in the playoffs and then ran away from Boston because Boston sucked at that time. But despite everything the Clippers did, we gotta talk about the winners because that's what history's written by, of course. So June 30th to 2021, that's gonna go down as the day that a 11-time All-Star, a 10-time All-NBA player, a 9-time All-Defensive Player, a 4-time assist leader, and 6-time assist leader in his 16th year in this freaking league makes the finals for the first time. I don't think I can say there was anybody that I've ever seen accomplish that finally this long in their career. The only person I could think of closest to that off the top of my head really is Kyle Lowry, and his resume, that's nothing close to Chris Paul. Let's just say that right now. Let's start from the beginning with CP. So New Orleans, he had some very solid teams once he entered the league. Not too many playoff misses. He had a possibly robbed MVP run. I think it was 08, right? That was the Kobe year. I'll still give it that to Kobe though. But he could never get over the Western hump really. Lakers, Spurs. Who else? I was about to say Clippers. I don't know why. Lakers, Spurs, Suns, Mavericks, Nuggets with Melo. Those teams. And then Los Angeles. Not purple and gold because that got vetoed. And the red and blue. It was just really 6 years of shortcomings, lobs, postering people, thanks to Blake and DeAndre. Some 6th Man of the Year award wins from Jamal Crawford, and a blown 3-1 lead. You can thank Doc Rivers for that as well. He was on that team, so there was that. After those 6 years of pain, Houston happened. And they had the best shot of beating Golden State before Toronto did. They had the best shot in the Western Conference of any team to beat Golden State, not even OKC. I promise you that OKC victory wasn't doing nothing. I know that. Houston, I can only encapsulate this in 2 words, so I'm just gonna say it: the hamstring. The hamstring, it cost CP what he just got, but it cost him at the time that possible I'm gonna say we all believe it really. If Chris Paul did not have his hamstring reemerge and steal the show in Game 5, they could have won Game 6. Golden State could have still easily won. They're a super team for a reason. But Game 6, Golden State could have still easily won. Or maybe not. In Game 7 at home in Houston, they could have easily grinded that out and won. And then destroy the Cavs, even though 2018 LeBron was on that team. And Chris Paul would be an NBA champion 3 years later, as I'm talking. But no, the hamstring happened, and CP never got to play for a chance to go to the finals. Never got to have a closeout game to make the finals. And Golden State happened, and Harden and CP split, and he was shipped off to OKC for Russell Westbrook. This was the written off season. Let's be honest. Even I said it. I thought OKC was going to be garbage at the bottom of the conference. I was expecting Chris Paul to get a buyout or trade somehow if some team really wanted that contract. But somehow they managed to do a couple things. One, I don't think I'm right on this. I think they had a better record than PG and Russ. PG and Russ, that PG MVP season in OKC. I think they had a better record than that. I might be wrong, but they had a better record than Russell Westbrook and James Harden in the bubble, and scared them to death with 7 games. If it wasn't for Lou Dort not being a great shooter and getting blocked by Harden, Chris Paul would have been seeing LeBron in the second round. But that's for another story. It was a written off season turned Cinderella. It has been a journey for this man, but somehow here we are, and here we are at the latest stop, possibly the final stop. Phoenix, the team he preferred to be sent to. Michael Wilbon spoiled that on SportsCenter earlier tonight. The coach he preferred to work with, the young center he preferred to boost and encourage and give confidence in Ayton, and the young student of Kobe Bryant that he preferred to mentor. That one season revival that OKC had, it definitely obviously sparked the interest of Phoenix. Absolutely. The fact that he managed to get an all-star appearance, which I called, I didn't think Shai Gilgeous was going to get that nod. The fact that he managed to do that, the fact that he managed to bring this team to the playoffs and give a somewhat title contending team Houston 7 games was impressive. And definitely for CP's case, that 8-0 run, that moral victory that Phoenix got in the bubble, despite them not making the playoffs, that definitely caught his attention, along with the fact of playing with Devin Booker, of course. And thus, this insane freaking run called the 2021 NBA season began for them. Most expected a playoff berth. I did too, but I didn't expect anything on this scale. I expected them to be at probably the bottom 4 of the Western Conference. Not taking into consideration play-in, obviously, but they did. And afterwards, they maintained a genuinely good spot for most of the first half of the season. And they shot up in the standings in the West, especially after a couple of injuries happened. AD, then Braun. Anyone else in the West? Donovan Mitchell's ankle, there was that. Utah remained first. Phoenix caught them at a couple times, but despite how good Utah was with Donovan Mitchell in or out of the lineup, Phoenix managed to hang by them for a long time, and they were only like just a few games behind. The end of the season, Phoenix had a chance to be first, but Utah had none of that, so there was that. But in the end of the regular season, they took second best record in the West, which was actually also good enough to be the second best team in the NBA in the regular season. They were better than Brooklyn. They were better than Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and then they were better than the Clippers, Lakers, Denver. Obviously, some context with the Lakers injuries. With that, they were second in the West, and that gave them a deadlocked matchup with the defending champs. They were battered, yeah, but they were still the defending champs. I would never count out LeBron just because, well, yeah, I've been a victim of that man a couple times, but yeah. Game 1 immediately turned into the same old story. Early in the first quarter, I'm pretty sure he bumped it to 80. CP ended up hurting his ankle, shoulder. I don't know why I said ankle. Thinking about Trae Young, his shoulder. CP hurt his shoulder, but thanks to Booker, thanks to D-Book, they ended up taking Game 1 anyway. Though that did become a story throughout the rest of the way. The Lakers immediately, and I mean this immediately, they took games 2 and 3, and we thought it was wraps for the Suns. CP didn't really have too much improvement in his shoulder. At moments, he was like losing the ball, loose with it. And I really thought that Lakers were just gonna do this. I didn't expect them to not lose this series if AD and LeBron were healthy. But I thought Phoenix was a bit scared to death, being a young team and their leader, the veteran leader, having a bad shoulder. Nah, I didn't think anything of that. I thought Phoenix was gone. Without him being fully healthy, LA was about to put the lights on them. But this is the part where I'm gonna have to start adding context to the Phoenix run, because Laker fans are gonna get pissed off if I don't. AD, his groin said, nope, you're going with me into the locker room and you're never coming back. AD hurt his groin in game 4, right before the end of the first half in game 4, and CP took advantage of that. He put down 18 and 9. Apparently he started feeling a lot better as soon as he saw AD go down, but nonetheless they tied up the series in game 4. And then because there were still those moments where I was like, you know what, this team could still go down 3-2. They could have easily gone down 3-1 if it wasn't for CP, because LeBron was on the other side, and I thought that this young team was probably afraid if it wasn't for CP. And I didn't expect anything of LeBron, but LeBron did not look like LeBron, and they got obliterated in game 5. And in game 6, I was looking for the game 6 LeBron. Wasn't really there. Obviously, context again, injuries, that ankle. I wasn't really seeing kill mode. I thought I was going to see it, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But the Phoenix Suns, with the leadership of Chris Paul and a 47 Herculean effort from D-Book, took out the defending champs in 6. Context again, just because I know Laker fans are going to be pissed off when they see this video. Next, they had dibs on the league MVP Nikola Jokic. This is probably the shortest part of the video I'm going to be talking about. Context again, Bubble Murray, as I like to call him, tore his ACL, and that help on that team after Jokic became extremely scarce. Jokic was still giving everyone 50 though. He was putting Ayton and anyone else that was guarding him in purgatory, because that man at one point in one game, I think game 3, had 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists. How do you do that? That man deserved that MVP, but they were still down 3-0. Game 4, Denver looked like they could have done something. That game was pretty competitive throughout, but Chris Paul personally handed Denver 9 straight field goals in the third, and that was not that was all the refs needed to see. That was all the refs needed to see, and they decided to pack up Jokic. They packed up Jokic with a flagrant 2, which was stupid. They ejected the MVP, and just like that, even though the game was still a bit competitive, CP put some finishing touches in the 4th, so did Book, and the Suns swept the Nuggets to reach the conference finals for the first time in 11 years. I remember that conference finals because Ron Artest had a miracle game winner after Kobe missed a shot, and then Kobe took it upon himself to destroy Phoenix in game 6. I vividly remember that, because after that next series I was in pain because the Lakers beat the Celtics. I don't want to talk about that though. And finally, here we are, game 6. I'm not gonna lie, tonight after game 5, me and my friend, I'm not gonna lie, we were like going back and forth. I don't have any stake, especially after KD got airballed that last shot in game 7 against Milwaukee. I don't have any stake in these playoffs, of course, but me and my friend, we were going back and forth and just texting. Like, I was telling him, it's over for the Clippers. Look, with them not having Kawhi, I didn't believe that they could do this, but the way their playoff run went, especially after Kawhi went down, they could have, but I just didn't see it. He just kept telling me Clips in 7. I was trying to find a reason why he was telling me this. He just couldn't find one, and it was pissing me off. But after game 5, I was feeling some type of way because PG dropped 41. I wasn't expecting that, but he did that. Yeah, he did. And then in the back of my head tonight, I was expecting a rout from the Clippers. I was expecting Moot to go off, Reggie to go off, Boogie to go off, even Playoff P to go off. But that did not happen. I thought we were getting a game 5 in the back of my mind Friday, but instead, Book clearly started off the game without his mask for good reason. He didn't have the best game. I think he finished for like in the 20s, but there was that. Aiton looked a lot more impressive tonight. He was playing pretty soft despite the fact they were playing zone, and they were doing a lot of team rebounding, the Clippers were, against him, which definitely threw his game off. But I think he was a more assertive today. There was that. Mikal Bridges, despite him being horrible in the corner throughout this series, I'm going to be very honest, I've been noticing that he had some nice cuts and some nice moments. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Crowder, once again, I guess he thought LeBron was in the building or something. I guess he saw that LeBron had a watch party for Space Jam. He just took it personal, and he just was just lights out tonight again, just like against the Lakers. But when it really mattered most, I'm going to be very honest with you, I don't know what I just saw. I saw this with Game 4. We talked about this just now with Game 4. Chris Paul had 31 in the second half. He only had 10 points in the first half. And that third quarter and fourth quarter, all I saw was him just dissecting the entire team with mid-range shots. He caught Boogie lacking with like a behind-the-back move. Well, no, that wasn't even Boogie. That was Marcus Morris. That was Mook. He caught Mook. Mook was running the corner. Mook, he broke his neck, and then, not literally, but he literally caught Mook lacking, and then took an easy shot on the baseline. And it got to the point where Patrick Beverley had enough, and he went back to his dirty old self, I guess. He shoved the man. CP gave him like this dirty look out of a timeout, during a timeout, and then Patrick Beverley just pushed the hell out of this man. He's making Westbrook's words come to fruition, that he really is just tricking us. But that's Patrick Beverley, and he was packed up. He packed himself up after that. He had seen it enough. The way Chris Paul was destroying them, he had seen it enough. There was nothing he could do. It was bad enough he had to guard Book, but it was worse that Chris Paul was starting to destroy Marcus Morris and Batum and Mann and Paul George and DeMarcus Cousins. 31 in the second half, 0 turnovers again in a single game, and now for the first time, a Western Conference title. His first, and officially, he is officially 4 wins away from his first NBA title. I'm gonna say this, and when I mean we, NBA Twitter, because I hate that place at times, I really do. But we love to praise Dirk's title, which I do as well, of course, since he was like really the last Lone Star that, no pun intended, because he played in Texas. He was really the last Lone Star of his team that took a true team effort to beat a team, obviously I'm talking about Miami, and win the championship. That's a title run that a lot of people respect. Not LeBron fans, since they hate that so much, and Heat fans, of course. But that was really the last genuine title run you could really say a lot of people enjoyed, respected, and really, as a whole consensus, can't really have hate on. I don't know how you could hate Dirk, but I don't know. But I'm gonna be honest, I think we have to give that same sort of acknowledgement for CP3. I don't mean no help, because Devin Booker literally exists, and he put 47 on the head of the Lakers in Staples Center. I'm not gonna say that. CP3, Devin Booker is the best player on the Suns. We all know this. That's pretty obvious. If you don't, then there's probably mentally something wrong with you. I don't know. Psychologically, as a basketball fan, of course. But I mean in the aspect of that, it was just respectable. We've had a lot of injuries this postseason. I'm going to be honest. Look, Embiid's meniscus, Kyrie's ankle, Harden his hamstring, Giannis now with that knee, which almost looked like he tore his ACL. Good God. Trey's bone bruise, which that ref sabotaged. Good Lord. LeBron obviously was never the same with that ankle. AD's groin. I'm thinking Jamal Murray's ACL, even before the playoffs started. A lot of injuries. Jaylen Brown, I'm gonna mention that. I'm a Celtics fan. I have to mention that. But you know, I don't know. It's just dumb when I'm looking on the timeline, and I'm always seeing people talking like we're in a pawn shop. That ring costs this, that, and that. Like, come on, bro. Relax. You're gonna live. I promise you're gonna live. Your life is gonna be the same whether this person wins the title or not. I promise you that. But with him being 4 wins away, I'm just gonna say this now, because whether he's gonna see Giannis with that knee that bent backwards, which Ooh, I don't know how I looked at that. I don't know how I looked at that. I don't know how I watched that. I don't know. But that knee looking very sus right now at the moment, and then Trey, like I said, that ankle that ref sabotaged. We gotta have that diet. We have to have that dialogue. We gotta cut the asterisk talks. It's funny when you see it with especially with the bubble talk, but as a whole it's dumb. But we gotta cut the asterisk talks, and we gotta give that man his due. We have to. It's just that going that long of a career and not winning a title, and just being said you're not a winner because of that. I don't know. It's ridiculous. So that's really what was on my mind. I'm gonna be honest right now. I kind of started off all this talk really reading straight off of what I just typed up just now. Kind of sound like a robot, so I definitely had to just improvise for a little bit. I hammered out 3 pages of talk. I really haven't done that since I finished college, which is, damn, that's nuts. But thank you guys for watching and listening this far. If you got through my boring voice somehow. I'm not gonna do this often, but I'm just really sharing what's off the dome on my mind. This game just happened about 3 hours ago, nearly 4 hours ago, and that's really what was on my mind right now. I'm gonna probably throw in another, depending on what happens in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then we'll be back. I'm gonna be honest, personally, I want it to be Milwaukee so I could talk about Giannis and his journey, but if it's Trey, I actually don't mind because I want to talk about that as well. Look, shout out Dom for, I don't know, intoxicating me with wanting to do this, but I don't know, maybe this could be something in the future. I don't know, but thank you guys for watching once again, and I will see you guys in the next one.